as soon as it's graphing. So in a linear system, we want to find points that satisfy both equations. So what we have now is not just one equation, but we're going to have two equations. And they're related somehow. Where they're related is where they're equal. That means that they have the same x value and the same y value. On a picture, that means that it's where they cross. Okay, so where the two lines cross. Lines can only cross once, just to let you know. However, if you have parallel lines, then you'll have no solution because they will never cross. Or, which you're going to find out in a couple of days, if you have the same line, then you have an infinite solutions because they're crossing forever, all the time. They're constantly crossing. They're the same line. And that kind of brings up an interesting response to your system as well. Okay? So the reason why we spend so much time graphing is we got to graph this. What I want you to do is this one is just going to be practicing mx plus b. So I want you to change that into slope intercept format. Go. Take this one and switch it. How do we move x to the other side? Because here in front is a plus sign, so we subtract x. Go ahead, show your work. I encourage you to show all of your work for this first question. Now in front of the 6, we have a plus sign. Otherwise, we have to write a negative. And so it becomes negative x plus 6. It's easiest if you write your x first. How do we get rid of this times negative 2? Divide by negative 2. Now the entire left side's divided and the entire right side's divided. That equals negative 1 over negative 2x plus 6 divided by negative 2. Now a lot of you should be able to go to y equals positive 1/2 x minus 3. So all the terms must be divided by negative 2. So now what we want to do is fix this one up as well. This one's an easier one. 3x plus y equals 4. What do we have to move to the other side? The plus 3x. How do we do that, Sabrina? What's the opposite of plus 3x? Thank you. So y equals negative 3x plus 4. Okay. So graph those now. Plot your intercept of plus 4. And your slope of negative 3 over 1 tells you to go down 3, right 1. And what I like to do for this section is I like to find all the points. And then go up and left. And then when I get all the points, I'm going to make a big long line. Not a short one because I might not see the answer. Make sure your grid line, so your line goes from one side of the grid to the other side. Do not make it short. Again, do not make it short. Now graph your red equation. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, so your graph should look exactly like this. Nothing less, nothing different. Exactly like that. Okay, so double check your work. You've got to use a ruler for this. Make sure it's... Are you using pen? Yeah. 5 push-ups. Go. Seriously. Again, graph should look exactly like that. What's the solution to the system? When are those two equations equal to each other? Right here. So that is the solution to the system. What is your x value and what is your y value at that point? X is plus 2, y is negative 2. Okay. Then what we have to do is verify the solution. Verify means to check. The textbook likes to say verify. But don't just check one equation like last year, because here's a system. So you need to check both equations. So one equation will be x minus 2y equals 6. So you're going to substitute in 2 for x and negative 2 for y. And then don't forget the great wall of checks, so you can check and see if your left side equals the right side. But you got to do it for the other one as well. And always start with your original in case you made an algebra mistake. So then you can substitute in the exact same values for y and x on the other side. Okay, go ahead, do your check. 6 equals 6, left side equals right side. Please do your other check. Go. Okay, so 6 minus 2, 4, and 4, left side equals right side. So now you can say that, yes, since both equations worked out to true statements, you can say 2, negative 2 is a solution for the system. Okay. So that point is a solution to the system because both equations make true statements. Okay, you must have them both being true statements. Okay, so next one. Oops. Next one here. Now we're going to do two methods of graphing. We're going to, for this one, let's turn that into y equals mx plus b. For the next one, though, I want to practice our axes intercept. Okay, so that's when you set x equal to 0, find y, y equal to 0, find x. Go ahead. Do your math first, change both equations, then look to graph after. Okay, so for this one, just have a look up here. I want to show all my work. This is a plus x, so we minus x, both sides. That leaves us with a negative y. This negative sign doesn't disappear, okay? And that equals negative x plus 2. How do we get rid of this negative sign? And what number is in between the negative sign and the y? It's a 1. So we have to divide by negative 1. And so we're going to get y equals positive x minus 2. Okay. For your intercepts, you're going to get 2 times 0 plus y equals 4. 0 plus y equals 4. Y equals 4. Here, 2x plus 0 equals 4. 2x equals 4. X equals 2. Now that's an easy one to graph. X equals 2 is right here. Y equals 4 is right here. You guys should have done this about 400 times in your homework. And now you can make a nice line. There you go. Okay. Okay, make your other graph as well. So -2 is down here, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And you should be able to go both directions with your slope. Okay, so there's your two lines. And what's the solution? It's where they cross. So at this point, we get a solution of x is 2, y is 0. Good. Any questions? All right. Any questions about the graphing? And that's really what today's about, reviewing graphing, making sure you guys got it. Okay, if you're stuck at all. Now today, to be honest with you, use axes intercepts maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times. That's it. 90% of the time, your equations are going to be easier in slope intercept. And it's going to be really set up nice and easily for that as well. So you don't force yourself to do axes intercept. You want to kind of do it when it's in general form or standard form. So if it's not y equals mx plus b, then maybe think axes intercepts. But you're going to find some are a little bit weird as well, because you may get something like this: y equals 2x. Well, what number is right in there? What's your intercept? 0, right? That's the only thing we wouldn't have to write. We plus 0. So your intercept is 0. That means you're going to start right there at the origin. Okay, so watch out for that. That's going to happen a couple times today. All right. Okay, next one. Solve the following system. So this one, because 3 and 4 wouldn't divide nicely, they're not multiples of each other, change this one into y equals mx plus b. Because this one, 2 and 6 divide nicely, use your axes intercepts. Okay. Okay, go ahead, finish off the math. You shouldn't be. Okay, so there's my y equals 3x minus 4. Notice how I'm showing my work dividing by -1. That's an important concept. Okay, because you can get into trouble if you're not sure why your signs are changing. So you should know it's a -1y, so I divide by -1 to get positive y. It's kind of important. Okay, so then your intercepts in green, y equals 3 is right here, x equals 6, right there, and then you can make a line. Okay, and don't make short lines. Short lines can get you in trouble this unit. Make long, long lines. And so now that you have two lines, the solution, or solving it, is where they cross. Now, if you don't cross right in the corner of a grid, you might have graphed it wrong or done something wrong, especially today. Okay. So here the solution, x value is 2, y value is 2. And so that's the solution. Okay, those equations have the same x and y value at 2, 2. Make sure you use brackets as well. Any questions? Okay, next one. You guys can use any method you want. Graph the lines. Go any method you want. So some of you will probably go y equals mx plus b for both of them. And you're welcome to do that. Okay, right now, I know the answer, don't I? I can see where they cross because I used my slope. Do you think you're going to get full marks if you don't draw your line? Absolutely not. This is not solving by graphing. You must draw the line in order to graph and solve properly. So I want to see the lines. That's what I'll be looking for. Okay. I'll be looking for your lines drawn properly, and then I'll give a quick look at the solution. But if you don't have them drawn properly, I will not be giving you a mark for your solution. Now that you know where they cross, you can write the solution to the system. X is -2, y is a value of +1. Any questions? Yep. Sorry? Oh, thank you, -1. Thank you, thank you. We're good? Okay. Now, this one's really good, but it's not always practical or accurate. For example, if your intercept is a fraction. So here we get -3y equals -5x plus 7. So y equals positive 5/3 x, because of our two negative signs, minus 7/3. This you can't graph accurately. And that's why we have to do our other methods that we're going to learn tomorrow and the next day. Because -7/3, you can guess, totally guess, but you won't know exact values. So it's not a good way. Okay? All right. Earlier on, we looked at verifying. Now we have it in the question format. Is the point a solution for the following system? So you must verify. So what we want to do is put the point in for x and a y, and again for that one. So we're going to get 5 times 2 minus 3 times 3 equals 1. Do your check. 6 times 2 plus 2 times 3 equals 17. Do your check. Okay. Go ahead, do your little... So doing your own math, 10 minus 9 is 1. So it looks like this might work out, but don't stop yet. Here we get 12 plus 6, 19 and 17. This is, like I said, 18 and 17. I can't believe you got that wrong. So this is no. Ah, it's horrible. So is this point a solution? No. So we can say 2, 3 is not, and underline not, a solution to the system. It must work for both equations in order to be a solution. If it only works for one, it's not a solution. Okay? Good. So, your homework today, if you have a look at it, yeah, you're welcome to if you want to rip it out. It's this egg one. Now, most of these are y equals. So I wouldn't do axes intercepts until you get to like question 5 and 6. Right? Once you get to these questions here, yeah, 1 second, Irene. Okay. Here you might want to go y equals mx plus b, and then for this one you might want to go axes intercepts. But you don't have to, because y equals mx plus b would be really easy for it as well. All right? If you find the solution is 3, 1, you cross it off. If mi is not crossed off, then you write it in order down below from left to right. So once you're doing all the questions, then figure out your phrases. Phrase. Any questions, Jamie? No, you don't. Yeah. Show what you're graphing. Like for me, I'll show you what I suggest. No, whoops. Cancel. Come on, thing. Oh, it's going to freeze on me because of the movie. Wait, I turn this over and you can see you can graph it on the back. Okay, so if you have a look on the back, you can graph it all there. Good. Get working. You shouldn't have any homework or maybe 5 minutes to finish it up. Go. Nassim, go. No. Good. Maybe I'll take it tomorrow, Evan. How'd you put it on together?
So you probably can get it back from me.